Let's take you straight to the streets of Port Harcourt, where our senior reporter Uche Okoro is standing by live from the newspaper stand. Uche, what exactly are the residents saying?
All right, residents of Port Harcourt are quite upbeat this morning. The weather is a bit dull, but people are out, trying to catch a glimpse of the papers before perhaps the rains begin to pour down here in the capital of Rivers State. So I'll just try to make this as quick as I can. The Nation newspaper here, first on my extreme left, ahead 2023 presidential poll. Fayose, Ortom, Rattle, PDP. Ahead 2023 presidential poll, Fayose, Ortom, Rattle, PDP. I'll move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Insecurity ex-servicemen upbeat over Army's recall plan. Ex-servicemen upbeat over the Army's recall plan. Talking about insecurity there. And then we'll talk about the Punch newspaper this morning that has the front page headline, Running Mates, Uche Okoro's camp clash. Uche Okoro's camps clash as Ortom, Fayose threaten Atiku's bid. Uche Okoro's camps clash as Ortom, Fayose threaten Atiku's bid. And also in the Guardian newspaper, similar headline here talking about the PDP. Rumpus in PDP over calls for Aliyu's removal. Uche's shabby treatment. Rumpus in PDP over calls for Aliyu's removal and Uche's shabby treatment. The rains are already beginning to come down. It's beginning to drizzle. So let me just take this as the last headline this morning. Ortom undecided about support for Atiku once Uche placated. It's about to rain. So let me just talk to this gentleman very quickly so he can get to his work for the day. Good morning, sir. Your name again?
I'm Dr. Francis Oji Uduma.
All right, Dr. Francis, let's try to beat the rain. All right, just which of the headlines interest you?
Okay, to me, the headline that got my interest is the Kwankwaso Peter Obi's merger. And, I foresaw what is just happening right now. There's a power tussle who to actually emerge the superior here between the both. And I have a concern, before this particular, issue came up, I had proactively came up with a strategy on how to help this gentleman, become the next president of Nigeria, based on constitutional issues. A lot of things have undertones that really need to be given key attention as fundamentals if you want something bigger to happen. The issue of the constitution on, regional rotation of presidency is not very simplified and clarified. The constitution needs to be reviewed. Reason is because if the constitution had simplified that rotation of governors.
Which of the constitutions now? Party constitution or Nigerian constitution? Let's be clear.
The Nigerian constitution, 1999, though, with some amendments. Section 14, subsection 3, talks about federal character. And it was implied there about this issue of rotation of governance, between the regions, the north and the south. I have a concern here. My concern is that it ought to have been simplified to the 6 geopolitical zones. Because P2B right now is somebody from the southeast. And if you look at the political governance, the historical fact, the southeast, they have been, left, people from other...
So in your view, in summary, in one sentence,
My view here is that there should be, if there had been a constitutional review right now, it would have been so obvious that P2B, even though they want to have a merger, P2B is the rightful person to be the president.
Okay, all right. Just hold on. Perhaps you have some other headline you want to talk about. Let me talk to my friend here this morning. Good morning to you, sir. What's your name?
I'm Chinoso Zoigwe.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Tell me about it.
Yeah, there's no any headline, so I'm just came here with my friend. We are reading about this point. Yeah.
So which of them so far catches your interest?
Yeah, like my brother says. My brother said the B2B the right man to be a president in Nigeria. That's what we need.
That's all you have to say this morning about the headlines, all right? All right, that's it from my friends. Any other thing you want to talk about? Just 2 minutes, or 1 minute so we can wrap this up. As you can see, it's raining already.
Yeah, that's of the Uche and Okoro's issue, or Okoro Ifeanyi of Delta State. The truth is the fact that in my own view, I believe, I think if Wike had been emerged as the vice president, as running mate, to me, I feel it would have been more easier to secure more votes, especially in the southern part. However, working relationship matters. I know his concern is who he will have a more better enabling working relationship with. Okay. But the focus would have been earlier who to enable you get the vote first.
Okay. Victory first. All right. Yeah. Thank you, my brother. I wish we could talk some more. But as you can see on my left and my right, the canopies are already coming out to secure these papers to ensure they don't get wet and soaked. The rains are pouring. So, Mike, we've got to go now. So you're back in charge.
Senior reporter Uche Okoro, live from the streets of Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Well, Sam and Mike, interesting conversations as always on the newspaper stand. Nigerians are always very, very interested in the affairs of the nation.
Sometimes I think Nigerians are underestimated regarding what they know and what they want sometimes. And when you listen to them speak like this, it tells you, wow, this is really deep. And the point there is, this is a political space. And the era now, we're going towards elections. And when you hear people talk about their preferred candidates and all of that, it gives room for one to think and feel that the democracy we're talking about is getting rooted by the day. For us, we don't want to have a one-party state situation. So when we have a ruling party, we have other political parties, it should reflect in the way people express themselves, what they want. So when we hear them, oh, we want this candidate or we want that candidate, it is the breathing of democracy. That's how you feel it through the people. So it's a good thing. And residents of Port Harcourt are reflecting that, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just telling us that PDP has to be careful because it's their stronghold now that you are seeing a Peter Obi momentum. And it is not good for PDP because Peter Obi is actually trending in the PDP stronghold, whether it's the southeast or part of south-south, So it is not good for PDP. It's not as if Peter Obi is going to sweep those areas, but it's going to make a mess of PDP's stronghold, and it is not good for them. It's a way of just trying to say that it is APC's election to lose, because it means that, where you are supposed to beat us, somebody is taking a huge chunk of it.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
All right, I've always wondered why we do not see women at the newspaper stand. On a lighter note, please.
Women should answer that.
Exactly. Women should answer that question. But
men tend to be more outward in their. Men tend to be more outward in their political views and attention to public relations, public events. And so women tend to be more private about their views, and they're not as loud as men in trying to show concerns.
That's true.
It's even in the political arena, you don't see women as much. So it is a cultural thing.
I totally agree, because although that is not to say that women don't hold strong opinions. In fact, if you get into the space where you're having a chat or one-on-one with any woman, as the case may be, you know that they hold very strong opinions about whether it is a societal thing or an economic phenomenon or cultural or historical or even whatever the thing is. It's just that men are more frontal. So when you go to a newspaper stand or you want to speak to anybody at random, men are likely to be the ones to come out to say anything than the women.
It's the testosterone at war.
All right, so just yesterday, the ministers were confirmed by the Senate, and I know that we saw that report just earlier. I mean, 7 months or thereabouts to.
Well, the point there is so some ministers resigned to contest for different various elections during the last cycle. And, you know, the president, it was the president's prerogative to replace them as the law is concerned. And names of persons were sent back. That, as it happened also at the federal level, it also happened in states. Some states had to replace, reshuffle. Others had to, you know, get new people. In fact, there were some states who had to call back for those who didn't win election and they were still in the governor's good books. Some were called back, you know, to hold different offices within the cabinet. So if you look at the caliber of persons that were screened by the Senate, it also tells you that they all, at their various capacity, have what it takes to run those ministries. For some of them that we have seen, wait to see how they contribute, although we're at the last lap of the administration now. So the way one would expect to feel their impact may not be the way when the administration just kicked off. So, but wait to see whatever they will have to do.